Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at Algorand. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Before we jump into the lower degree counting here, we're going to go over some of the higher time frame ideas. So we've been talking about this potential of this being a fourth wave here, and we're saying that there is the potential here that this could have actually completed as a triangle. And what we'd then be saying is that this move here was A, B, C, D, E, and then we've actually already broken down for this fifth wave. The thing is, even within this idea, until we take this high here, we cannot rule out the idea that we could still see some further extension to the downside in a bigger 5-wave move, where this becomes 1, 2. So we're going to go over that idea, and then we're going to go over some of the other potentials. There is the potential here that we could still see something here, like a bigger corrective move, where this is a bigger A, a B, and a C pattern. And what we could actually start to see is a bit of a rally to the upside. So some areas of interest within this idea would be this 1-to-1 level. And then if this is going to be an expanding flat, this higher level here of this 1236 to this 1618, which is sitting at the 1691 to this 1425. So if we do continue to hold this low here, we could potentially start to see a bit of a rally to the upside here, where we get a 5-wave move looking to push us up into the zone. So those are the two ways that I'm currently looking at this move. So now within the previous video, what we were saying is the idea of this being a triangle and a breakdown. We're looking for the potential that this could be 1, 2, this was 3, 4, and then we're saying that we had to pretty much break down from this point, otherwise this fourth wave would be getting too big. Now we have moved down here and we've started to move back up. So the idea of the fourth wave is looking less likely at this point, and would actually start to make more sense that if this triangle actually completes into this point here. So within that idea, what we'd then be saying here is that we could be looking for a bigger break to the downside. So until we actually break back above this 1188, we need to be careful of this potential here, that this could become 1. We have A, B, and we're looking for a C wave to the upside. Now, based off of this current low that we've got over here, our 1-to-1 would actually be up here towards this 1047, which would bring us right into this target box here, this 1060 to this 1028. We do also have the top of this channel, which is sitting here towards this zone of this 1086. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. Obviously, as time drags on, this channel will get lower as well, but I'm going to be looking out for these levels to see whether we get some kind of reaction from this point. If we do start to break down in a more impulsive way, there's two ways that I'm currently looking at this structure. So either we could get something like this, where this becomes an A, B, and a C, in which case this could then become our wave 1 if we're going to form something like a contracting diagonal. Alternatively, if this is going to become 1, 2, and we're going to see a bigger break to the downside, we need to be on the lookout for this potential of seeing a push down to this 1.618. So this is off of this 0.618 level here, which is sitting at this 1005. If we do look to move up higher here, potentially we could look to actually push this target up as well. So we'll have to see exactly where this ends, but what we'd be looking for is a high volume move to the downside in 5 waves to confirm that this is a third wave. Then we'd be looking for a fourth and a fifth to the downside. The problem is that we've actually done enough now that if this triangle does complete into this point here, that this could just be our fifth wave completed. Now, if this is actually our fifth wave completed, what we'd be expecting is to see price action move back above this invalidation point at this 1188. Now, within that idea, what we'd then be saying is that either we have completed here and we're going to see this move look to push to the upside and we're going to start to trend, or alternatively, like I said, this could just be a bigger ABC pattern where we could still be looking for a substantial push to the upside before more continuation to the downside. So we're going to be keeping an eye on those levels higher up. Now, within this idea of the breakout, what we were saying in the previous video is that, we'd come down into this zone here of this 0.618, and we needed to see whether we had a reaction to the upside. Now, for as long as we hold this 0820, there is potential here that we could start to see some impulsive structure developing to the upside, looking for this 1618 here, which would confirm the wave 3 at this 1170. However, if we do just get a 5-wave move, which looks to push rather up towards this 1-to-1 level, this would align with that corrective structure where we could just see this as ABC, and until we take this high, could align with this continuation to the downside. So really, we want to get back above this high, which is sitting here at this 1188. Until we do that, we need to be careful of that more bearish case here. But we are starting to see some impulsive structure looking to develop to the upside here. So this is promising, but it could be that this move here just becomes a C wave and then we look to break down. Now, within the breakout here, what we'd be saying is that internally, we're going to come in much closer now. what I'm looking for is that this move here is 1, 2, we have this as another 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up into this high. This is our fourth wave, and we're looking for this as a fifth wave. Now, the most common target area for a fifth is this 1016 to this 0996, but we have actually taken this high here now. Now, within this internal structure here, it is very hard to count this. We can potentially argue that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is actually a fifth wave that's extending out here. But what we need to be mindful of is that if this is 1, 2, 1, 2, we could still be within a third, fourth, and a fifth, and then we get another fourth and a fifth. So the key thing here is, for as long as we actually hold what would be from this current level our fourth wave target area, which would be this 0961, I am going to look out for the potential that we could still see some extension here to the upside. So within this idea, what we'd then be saying is that if price is looking to extend in 1, 2, 3, we could potentially see a fourth wave back down here and then another fifth wave. And then we'd be looking for this additional fifth wave to the upside here, which could look to push us up into the zone of this 0996 to this 1016. Now, if we do see a move up into this level, whether we reach this target or not, what I'm going to be looking out for, even if we do fall short, would actually be the potential to find support again. Like I said, as long as we hold this low of this 0873, we have potential here that this move could become a wave 1. We get 3 waves back to the downside, and we look to hold this 0.5 to the 0.786, so that would be this 0899 to this 0936 region, and then look for continuation to the upside once again. Now, if we are looking at this as a corrective structure, we'd be looking for this 1-to-1 at this 1058. But if we're looking for that higher impulse target, what we'd then be looking for off of this 0.618 would be 1153. So the way that I'm currently looking at this is that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're looking for this as a fifth. If we do complete here, get 3 waves down, hold this level, the next thing I'll be looking for is these 2 targets, either the 1-to-1, like I said, or this higher 1.618. If we do hit this higher 1.618 level, this would align with coming up to this 1153. We would get another fourth and a fifth, which could look to push us up towards this 1214 to this 1175. Now, we can always have extensions within the waves, but it wouldn't be very likely, in my opinion, that this is 1, 2, 1, 2 here. But nevertheless, if we did start to see a bigger impulsive push to the upside here, where we start to see some extension, and we look to move up past this 1096 level, then we would have to be open to the idea here that this is another 1, 2, this would become 3, we'd get 4, and then we'd get fifth wave to the upside, and then we'd still have an additional fourth and a fifth, and then we'd be looking for this deeper retracement after that point to that 50% to that 786. So the key thing here though is, if we just get a single 5-wave move up here, this could be a C wave, so we need to be careful. It's going to become crucial whether we manage to hold this low and the support box area and then see that continuation up. If we lose this support box area and we invalidate this, the likelihood is that we're going to have a substantial drop here, looking for either that 1-to-1 target, as we said previously here within this triangle breakdown, where we're looking at this as A, B, and C, where we look for this 0694, or alternatively looking for this deeper 1.618 level lower down here. So we need to be a little bit careful of this until we actually take this high. If we do get a bigger 5-wave move to the upside in this breakout idea, this could align with the idea of this being that flat correction here. And then we'd be looking for that continuation to the downside. But what we'd have to just monitor is that if we do get confirmation by pushing up past this 1170, get a fourth and a fifth to the upside, then we'd need to be very careful here, because this could also become A, B, and then we could look for a C wave, or 1, 2, and then 3 to the upside. So if we get 3 waves down after a move like this, then the probabilities start to increase that this is going to see continuation to the upside, but we'd have to wait for the structure to come into play. Coming in here and having a look at the daily CPR lines, what we can see is that we did find support on these central lines. We've moved up and we're starting to find temporary support here on our R1 line. If we do continue to look to push up, other targets for today would be 994, 1013, and this 1035 as potential upside targets. If we start to lose this support of this 0972, I will be watching out for the potential to find support again between this 952 and this 956. Losing that level, other targets to the downside for today would be 931, 914, 890, and this 872 as potential downside targets. Now we do have new weekly pivot points, so we're going to have a look at these. We can see here that we printed a slightly higher CPR line here, which is giving us an initial bullish bias. Now we did move back into this, and now we're moving to the upside. One of the targets for this week would be this 996. So if we do continue to see this extending out, I will be keeping an eye on this 996 area for a potential reaction. This would align with coming back up into some of these highs from further back here on the left hand side. Other targets for this week to the upside would be this 1043, and we have this higher level here of this 1104, which would align with coming back into our channel. If, however, we start to see a rejection here and we lose this 0942 to this 0926, what I will then be looking for is whether this S1 holds here at this 0888. Now, if we do continue to hold this level, we could potentially look for that continuation up. If, however, we lose this level, what I would then be looking for is potential to test out this 827 and this 781 as potential downside targets. Now, moving over here and having a look at the monthly pivots, what we can see is that we are currently interacting with our central lines. We're actually currently facing rejection off this 980 level. If we do continue to push through this level, I will be looking out for the potential of moving up towards the top end of this line here at this 10 cents. If we do move up to that, we need to be very careful because this could become a very big psychological level if we're going to look for that rejection to the downside. Or alternatively, we could get a reaction, see a retracement, and then see that continuation to the upside. So going to be watching this level if we do continue to push up here, but we are facing resistance on this center line. If we look to continue to reject down from these and we look to push back down, I will be watching this lower level of this S1 at this 0771. That would align with the idea of this coming back down one more time here as an ABC. Other targets to the downside for this month that are still open is this 609, and then we have this lower one here of this 0399 as potential downside targets. If we are looking at the upside targets, if we manage to flip these central lines into support, what we have here as targets would be 1141. We have 1352 and this higher level here of this 1511. So that would align with the idea of seeing a bit more of a push to the upside where this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're looking for that fifth wave up. So going to be keeping an eye on these levels over the rest of this month. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you will find a link to the Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. Everyone have a great day. We will see you in the next one. Take care.